this is totally impromptu, but since I see Melanie and her precious little one snoozing right now, it's our team call, and I'm Casey. I'm going to be your host tonight. And while we have a sleeping beauty, Melanie hit Crystal Executive like on the same day she had a baby. So there she how does that happen?
Because I was enrolling someone in my hospital room after I had my baby.
Commitment, man. That's commitment. So, we're all on this call for a reason, right? For a why. And, it's like if you can push out a baby and then enroll somebody, I don't have any excuses left. I got nothing left that I can say why I can't do something. Tonight, you guys, I'm going to talk just a little bit about something I heard Dave MacArthur talk about, and it just really resonated with me so much when I heard it. And so I just invite everybody to kind of tap into his message. I'm going to read some notes that I took because I just heard it, and we've been talking a lot about clarity. I was also the other night, I was listening to my boy Bob Proctor, and he was, again, it was talking about the number one reason why people don't get what they want is that they don't really know what they want, that they're not like crystal clear on it. And so the way that Dave broke it down, I just thought it was so beautiful and so lovely. So I invite everybody to get a pen, get a piece of paper, and go through these because you're really going to kind of rate yourself. And you just have to know where you are so that you can plug in where you are right now and set the destination point. And so he gave some great tips on that. And so when he started out, it's thinking about, at least I know for me, and maybe this is different for other people, but for me, when I started, there was a guilt factor or something associated with if I have and another doesn't have, or just increasing myself, increasing my wealth and making more money. There was this whole blueprint around just having more, that there was a block there for me. And the way that I associated and changed it, from needing to get to, I need to get when the isogenics, all that, and said like, oh my gosh, I had this gift, I have this blessing. And, you hear about so many people that are struggling in some area of their life that isogenics has a solution to. And so it's like keeping that at the forefront. And so in return for helping others, I see isogenics blessing me in this way. And so we can really think about it in terms of, well, because I'm blessing other people, isogenics is coming back to me in this way. And I love sharing isogenics because, and like tapping into that, he said without those core, simple, basic understandings of how isogenics is blessing other people, what you're seeing. I mean, I don't know if you guys have, seen some of the posts in Health in Action. You've personally gotten a phone call, a text message from somebody where these products are giving somebody life. And he says, you have to just conceive that message, conceive that is what you're offering to other people. And in return, right, your value absolutely is going to increase for yourself. Thinking about the fact that, you have the ability to coach people, right? That you're giving your value to people. So of course you should be receiving a lot of value. Of course you should be growing in your business. Of course you should be growing in your income. And so I currently make this much in isogenics weekly, monthly, yearly. Put a rank. It's factual. Be very factual with it. There's nothing to do here. It is what it is, right? This is your set point. So currently in isogenics, I am making this much weekly, monthly, yearly. Put your current rank. And again, it's a factual thing. So now we don't have to use our imagination, our greatest gift that has been given to us. We don't even have to use it for this one. I desire to make this much in isogenics. I desire to make this much in isogenics. Usually, they say that the why is attached. I know for me, it was what did I need to make in order for my husband to retire is something that I looked at was a number for me to get that. But it's like, what's your desire of what you want to make? And, thinking about, are we just in notion? Do we have the idea of, that we're not putting it out there. We don't have it in front of us. How many people they say, well, if I could just have more money, I just need more money. Well, what's more? What is more? And why is it that amount? And then whatever it is that you wrote down, I want you to times that by 3. Why not? It is possible. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, you can times it by 3 in a vehicle like this. So like, how exciting is that number? How exciting is that number? And that's where you're wanting to go. And now we're going to rate ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10 in some things. And I just love this clarity workshop. So 1 to 10 with your best health possible. What do you think that is? You're not comparing yourself to somebody, let's say like Lori Harder, right? Like it's for you, your best self for you. You can use, role models. It's always good to, model yourself after somebody that, you're aspiring to be like or whatnot. But if I'm not trying to be like a fitness model and be on stage and competing and going after trophies, how unkind do you think it would be to myself to compare myself to Lori Harder's fitness level? If like, I'm not trying to get to that level, so it's like having that idea of where it is that you want to be for yourself in that, and rate yourself where you are, and then where do you want to be? Do you want to increase your current health? Is it something that you just want to, be more active, consistently active? And only you can get clear on that when you're rating yourself of where you are and where do you want to be. Now, this one is one that I was thinking about a lot, your time freedom on a scale of 1 to 10. What I want, when I want, where I want, to be, let's say a 9 to 5, right? So when I had a 12-hour shifts, 14-hour days, 3-4 days a week, my time freedom was very limited. Not to say that, all the time freedom in the world when you're building an isogenics business, and especially in the beginning, you can feel like that you don't have any time, right? Because you're taking your spare time that you do have and you're injecting it into creating your time choices is what
Casey.
Yeah.
Casey. Could you mute? There's a lot of feedback. I don't know if you can hear it or not. There's a lot of people that are not muted.
I got it. Thank you. Yes. No, I could not hear it. All right. Awesome. So yes, always let me know on those things. So your time freedom, like, thinking about like when I probably have given myself maybe like a 2 or a 3. With time frame, like I couldn't get off on vacation when I wanted. I couldn't get the days off that I requested that I certainly wanted half the time, putting in months ahead, right? And so like there was somebody that I had to check in with. Like that was kind of my time freedom. My husband, he had off nights, weekends, holidays. That's when I worked, was nights, weekends, holidays. And so thinking about that, that's kind of where I would rate myself. And then where do you want to be? Right? So what do you want your time freedom to be? For me, it's definitely had to associate it with choice more so, because there's still things, but again, I want to show up because is way different than I have to show up, right? I want to show up and do things, and isogenics is way different than I have to. And then where would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 and with how fulfilled you are right now in contribution to other lives? And, maybe you're somebody that's just trying to keep your head above the water right now. Maybe you feel like you're drowning. Maybe you feel like you need to be rescued for something. And that's okay. Like if that is where you are right now and that fulfillment though, just thinking about all the demands that life can have upon us, all the different roles, the different hats, the different faces that we have to wear sometimes that we feel like in life. But if you put all that aside, like how do you feel fulfilled? Like what is fulfilling you? And do you know that? Have you ever sat down to think about that question right there? Because the thing is about building an isogenics business is it's just as easy not to do as it is to do, especially before the income and the results start coming in, right? And if you think about, again, that picture, Amanda, she posted it the other day in the groups, that those first couple years, man, you feel like you are just pushing that car up the hill all by yourself, and then it keeps falling back on you, and then you keep pushing it back up and falling back on you. But when you have yourself at a level of where you want to go and why, you're going to be able to tap into that. And I thought about, I've never really sat down and rated myself in a lot of areas of thinking about that, like with current set points. And somebody looks like they're trying to get in. And so I love what he said. What inspires me with Isogenics is it allows me to give health, hope, financial, relational freedom, mental clarity, people feeling good about themselves. I'm able to give people a vehicle that gives them their best ability to become the best version of themselves with no limitation, something where they can take something and times it by 3. So what is it that inspires us, right, to be in action, to do all these things? And if I'm looking at something like that, this is me doing IPAs allows me to give health, hope, financial freedom, better relationships to people just feeling good about themselves, gaining confidence. You know, Zig Ziglar says the more people that we help get what they want, automatically by osmosis, we get what we want. And this is such a win-win vehicle. And so like stepping back and having just that ability to say, okay, now based on, I want more fulfillment, I want time freedom, like my healthiest body, like, you know, why I want this reason, my family, how committed am I to that? Right now, would you say on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say your commitment level is? I would say popping out a baby and then enrolling somebody is a pretty high commitment level. I put that up there. I put that to probably 10. But you have to ask yourself that, right? Where's my commitment level right now? And then do I want it to be higher? And is there a disconnect between my commitment level and where it is that I want to be, right? That I desire to be on all those areas that you rated yourself. And so like and this is a practice that I don't think can be done in, you know, in a 30-minute call, in an hour call. This is something where, you know, you're looking at that and you want to get, you know, kind of honest with yourself and ask yourself and do that check-in, because if there is a disconnect between what you're saying you're desiring for yourself and fulfillment in your income and your time freedom, and then there's a disconnect in your commitment and your action doesn't match that, it is not going to feel good. That is going to be a turmoil inside you. That's going to create negative feelings around things, around IPAs and around your thought process of inviting people to take a look, join you, and all those things if those aren't a match. And so when I really started thinking about that disconnect and how much I've been studying with emotions and law of attraction and all those things, I was just like, yes, 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 this is just very clear. And again, it's different for everybody. And Dave was like, I'm still getting more clear on mine. I'm still making changes to my destinations and my roadmaps and my routes. And, you know, he's been doing Isogenics for 13 years. So there's changes that are still taking place. So you don't have to get, you know, attached to exactly like what it's looking like right now, but so that you can have the awareness and you can have that honest self-assessment if there's a disconnect. And, you know, there's different times of our best. I was talking about this earlier, right? There's a time when maybe my best that I can do today is different than my best that I can do on another day, right? Thinking about if you had the flu, you know, doing your best on that day versus, you know, a day that wasn't. And so it's being very flexible with knowing yourself and what you can do and on this journey for yourself. But if we don't have, you guys, if we're not telling ourselves, if we're not plugging it into the GPS, either those numbers, those amounts, what does time freedom represent? Like what does that look like? So why did you give it on a scale of 1 to 10, where you feel like you are right now with your time freedom versus where you want to be? Like, well, okay, what is it going to look like when you achieve that higher level? And, you know, imagination is the most powerful force in the universe. That every single thing that you look around in your room right now, this technology, this computer, these phones, you know, 40 years ago, right? This stuff, none of this was around. And it first was in somebody's mind, right? And then it became, and now it just seems so second nature that it's there. And so if you can take your imagination and you can start seeing what your life looks like when you have, you know, hit that desired level, you go in and you start just, that's what starts the creating. That's what the excitement is. That's what the enthusiasm is. You know, when Jennifer, she was talking about those pack breaks down, it's that enthusiasm that still is all else because you know you're going somewhere and your commitment level has matched it. And so it's just like this enthusiastic process because you have that stone cold belief, because when your commitment is a match, you guys, your belief is there. Your belief is not shaking. I heard, let's see if I wrote it down the other night. It just came to me. Listening to Bob Proctor, And it was talking about belief. Oh, here we go. It was so good. I was doing a PowerPoint. I was like, I have to stop and write this down. This is amazing. And he was being interviewed for the movie Think that's coming out. And he said, 3 feet from gold. People quit often 3 feet from gold, right before they hit gold. And he was like, tell me about that. Why do you feel like people are not successful? I'm going to find this. I'm going to post this recording for everybody to watch. So that's y'all just listen to this recording. If it don't fire you up, I don't know what will. But he was talking about like, belief is beyond knowing. Like, it's beyond something. Like, when you are 100% committed to something, when you believe that you can achieve that, those levels of what you have inside you, what you're desiring, what you can imagine, if you believe you can, there is no turning back. It is a knowing that it's yours, that you have it. And so quitting is never an option. It is not an option. Anyone who quits never bought into their idea. Anyone who ever quits never bought into their idea. And belief is on 3 levels. So when we believe it, when we think we can, we've intellectually hit it. When we have that belief on that level, we've intellectually hit it. Then there is the emotional belief, right? That's the feeling. That's the spiritual belief. The belief, that's the faith. Like, you just have that feeling, that belief. That's the tie in there, and that is really that vibration. If we're studying the law of vibration. And then that's what then goes out and creates the physical expression. So the 3rd level is that physical expression. And I think we're so caught up in the physical expression of what we're living in right now, or what we're seeing around us, and, oh, this is how it is, that we forget about that attachment that we have from our desire, from where it is that we are going, and staying charged into that, plugged into that. And it's different for everybody. So you can't look at somebody else and have that, or comparison, or faster, or all of that. But when you can raise your consciousness and your frequency of your levels of your emotional belief, and stay in that state and that momentum, he says that's when the physical grabs it. That's when it starts to appear physically for people. It's because they've raised their ability to have that conception felt more often, even before they're seeing it, because it's 100% faith and knowing. And so that just got me so giddy thinking about that between Dave and then listening to that. And so, yeah, I just want to ask, like, where is your belief in it? And again, you guys, when your belief is wavering, people feel that. People know that. When your belief is, when you're committed, and it doesn't matter, there's no outside conditions that you're going to let affect what it is that you're doing, where it is that you're going, who you're becoming. Nothing else matters, right? It's going to happen. And so that's just something that I'm excited, because I've been getting a lot more clear for myself on really seeing, like, okay, fulfillment, like what is very fulfilling, and tapping into those, and again, more joy. So I want to open it up, though. If anybody, I got to unmute. I'm going to mute and then allow participants to unmute themselves. Yes, that is good. So I'm gonna let people do some celebrations, and then I will come in and do some celebrations, but I don't want to take anybody's celebrations. I'm gonna let anybody that wants to shout out some, and then I'm gonna come on with some. Who wants to do a celebration, or who is freaking a 10 on their commitment level, or at least committed to finding out what their commitment level is?
I do, Casey. I do. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you already took mine, but I told you guys I have to give a shout out to my sister, and I'm gonna try really hard not to get emotional right now. But I love her more than anything, and she is killing it, you guys. She's got 3 beautiful kids, and our wives are very similar. But I cannot tell you what an honor it is to build this business with my sister. It is the shit. It is the coolest thing in the world, and she hit Crystal Executive the day that she had her baby. And I know everybody knows that, because that's insane. But she did it, and we linked arms, and we just started to run. And, that's what it's all about. But I also want to give a shout out to Tori Schroeder. I see you, girl. You were on here. You were grinding, and everything's going to happen that you want to happen. Amanda Ball's first Zoom. She's on her first Zoom. So, hey, Amanda. And I see you taking notes, girl. Keep rocking it. And Caitlin Hurst. Caitlin Hurst she is grinding. That girl is grinding. I am on calls with her all the time. And I just know that you guys are plugging in and you're doing your thing, and it's all going to happen. So just love everything that's happening for our team and people just killing it. So, but love you girls and you know, just the whole KZoo team that's on here too, plugged in. You guys are amazing and yeah, just killing it, straight up killing it. So that's all I got.
Go KZoo! Is that what you call it? KZoo? What's the word?
KZoo.
Kalamazoo.
KZoo.
Yeah, Kalamazoo. I was looking at a map today, saw Kalamazoo. You too. I mean, girl, Melina, you and Glenn. I mean, you guys are charging it too, and you know, it's that team. And when I was working today with a mentor that I'm working with right now, and it was talking about, you know, doing presentations. I was looking at my calendar and doing a lot. And it was like, you know what really excites me? Like what's really fulfilling is that first time I do a call with somebody not knowing where they're going to be in the next 1 or 2 years and like their life. And if they decide and they commit and they go and, you know, they see the vision, like you never know when you're talking to somebody who's going to get it. I was like, that actually really excites me to tell the story one more of just that uncertainty of not knowing of who's going to say yes to themselves. And just looking back on those first calls, you know, I think about, first time talking to you, Carissa, you know, I'll let Dawn and Randall shout you out. I'm sure they're about to, but you were so skeptical of even the products. My gosh, like, you know, your mom had to basically like force feed you, because she knew how bad you felt. You definitely weren't going to build the business. You definitely weren't going to touch that. Now you're going to ICU, you know, rocking it. And Christmas. So it's just like, you just never know that first phone call talking to somebody. So you guys rock Kalamazoo. I love you. The whole team there, it's on fire there. Who's next?
Me, I have one.
Yes.
I couldn't remember if we said it last week, but I just want to give a shout out to Katie Sarter-Fisher on here. She hit Crystal Manager this past week, I think. But I mean, you're talking about like commitment and drive and just staying plugged in and just going for it. That's her. I mean, this girl's on fire, and I don't want to get emotional either, but we've built such a like close relationship and friendship, and she's helping her team massively. And she's got 3 kiddos at home. I mean, she is a busy lady, but she has got one ear plugged in and she's driving and messaging me and, you know, voice messaging, and she's on fire, and I'm just pumped. I'm pumped for her. And of course, Melanie, you're a rock star. I don't even know what else to say. Congratulations on your baby. But I don't know if I'm missing anybody. I'll let Katie celebrate if she wants to. But yeah, so I love her.
Guys, that's it's the thing of like thinking about, you know, when it was like, okay, why do I want to build this Isogenics, or, you know, the fact that I'm gifting somebody this, like in return, my wealth grows for this, or like your number gets bigger. It's like you hear these, just the relationships alone of the people that you start to surround yourself with, like thinking about that, you know, somebody's able to, you know, it's talking to Stacy Hofer, like she's like, I'm able to go on vacation and pay for it, like with Isogenics, like with my family, like that is what we're gifting people when we're talking to people, like why I want to build this business, why I deserve to times it by 3, because I'm offering that much value to people in this community, putting this nutrition in their body, hearing stories of people's health transformations, like conceiving those ideas and then running for them like you guys are. Who's next?
I'll take a turn. Hey, I'm like scrolling the pictures and I'm like so pumped to see people on here that are part of my team. I think there's like 7 people on here. I always have like my Marie and my Monica and my Raylene, like always so happy, my tried and true. And I also have new people on here. So, well, Gina, who's been on here before, but we just met Brenda just yesterday, so she's on her first team call. So excited to have her on here as well. And then Jude, is so nice to see you back on the call. And then my new friend Mary, who is just like, she did our first 30 days. She's had an amazing product experience. She loves the product. She wants to be the next Ice Body. I mean, I met her for the first time Friday in person. She came over with their kids and we just were able to chat and get to know each other even better. But she's just kind of just seeing what we're all about on here tonight and just soaking up some of our Ice of Love. So just wanted to give a shout out to all those ladies.
Welcome. Yeah, plug it in, right? We're getting charged up. understand what this Isogenics thing is all about. And it is. It's so, you guys, powerful to show up and hear other people, hear other stories, see other things, just that bit of inspiration, just that one nugget that you might be able to take away with you. So congrats to you and Joe. You guys killed it with some PIBs. I don't even know what it ended up being, like $400 or something in PIBs alone. So rock stars.
Hey, I'll talk for a second.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just going to celebrate Sam Gage. She's on here, but she's not showing her face. She's probably taking care of her 2 little kids. But she has been rocking it out. She's into her 2nd month. She's feeling amazing, and she's already shared this product with so many people in, like, middle of Michigan. So we're going to take it up north a little bit here. And she's just, like, so coachable. She's got every single person in a 3-way call. I tell her to do something once, and it's done. She's like tagging people on the page. She's getting them videos and information. Like, this girl's all over it. So go see them. Yeah, we had one like an hour ago, like just like that. Hop on a phone call and let's share this.
Love it. Guys, don't underestimate that connecting. Don't underestimate connecting with other people and bringing other people in so that they can see like really the bigger picture, that this is not just a shake thing, or it's not even just a health thing. It's a wellness thing. And if one area of our life is not well, it can teeter-totter. Anybody else want to shout out?
I do.
Uh-oh. Well, while y'all fix y'all's, oh, there we go. I was going to say, I can shout you out. Our newest 1-star Crystal executive. I'm going to let her take shout out. Randall and LaDonna went 1-star and enrolled like 7 people last week and just killed it. So who you guys going to shout out? Your team is rocking.
Okay.
Uh-oh. The joys of building together.
Okay. No, we're not.
Oh. Somebody's got to mute their computer. That's what it is.
Yeah, just turn on. Okay, we're good. We're good. Every single week. So I want to shout out to my team. Love building this with my family. It's so exciting, including my husband. But you know, I enrolled my mom. She went Crystal Executive. She enrolled my Aunt Cindy. She went Crystal Executive.
Crystal Managers.
Or not Executive. I meant, yeah.
She's manifesting it. You guys are doing Crystal Executive, so we're just going to go ahead and celebrate that.
They're already executives in my mind. And then Aunt Cindy enrolled Carissa, who also went Crystal Manager yesterday, the last day of hers. So we met the deadline, so that was super exciting. And Cindy booked her ticket to Philadelphia this morning. So we're going to have a family reunion in Philadelphia with cousin Carissa and Aunt Cindy. And Megan is coming with us, so that's super exciting. And she's on the call tonight too. And I saw Curtis Hall back on the call. So he's back in action. Excited to see him on here. Scott Flood brought in 2 enrollments this week too. So we're just rocking it. So took the whole team to get us to 1-star. Everybody had to do their part. It wasn't just us.
Teamwork makes the dream work. And you guys, and I want to talk about too, you know, it wasn't that long ago that, you know, LaDonna and I were talking, and I'm like, who are we bringing to Philly? Like, come on, get on the call. Like, let's start messaging. Bring your team members. Like, come on. And now, you know, team members going to be in Philly. And so, you know, something about events, you guys, events, it's the highest paid skill set, right? If you look at your number, it is the highest paid skill set in network marketing, is being a promoter of events and having people come experience events. And why? It's because that belief becomes unshakable. You get bulletproof, right? You put your armor on because you see who's backing you. You see Jim and Kathy Coover backing you. You see the corporate team, everything that you have going for you, the support that you have, other people, the stories. You're learning more about the nutrition. You're seeing people in their health transformations. And it's when that, again, right, then that's quitting is never even an option when the belief is there, because you're able to hit all those things. So I'm putting that out there to you guys. If you're not booked for an event, if you're not looking at events, when I'm talking to somebody who says they want to build a business, I'm looking at isogenicsevents.com. Where's a close one for that? You know, getting in regions of areas, messaging people, there's an event. And so I don't want to beg anybody, but I'm begging you. Are you promoting events? Are you promoting events and getting to events? Because they are the game changer. Can't wait. Rock, everybody rocking. Who else? Anybody else have a shout out they want to do? I'm going to shout out Morgan Bishop, actually. And my mom, she went and did a launch party too. Yay, Mom and Mama Joy. But we were at a park. I don't know what they're called. They got the trampoline park. And, you know, Morgan's down 100 and I don't even know how much now probably, but she's down over 111 pounds. And she was jumping on a trampoline. And I look back and, you know, 3 years ago or whatever it was, she wasn't able to get up, you know, off the floor hardly. She wasn't able to get down on the floor to play with her son. And now she was jumping on a trampoline. I want to build Isogenics. I want to invest my time in it. I deserve that type of income for the value that I'm sharing when I bring it to somebody. You know, so like attaching to those stories. So way to go, Morgan, for jumping on a trampoline, because by golly, that's a big deal if you can jump on a trampoline. It was so fun. That's her. All right, I wanted to, so ICU Philly, let me admit, so I still encourage everybody to be at ICU Philly. If you have a problem, if you feel shy connecting with people, talking to people, maybe introverted to some level, maybe not really sure about yourself or could use some self-confidence or growth, UIA is also coming up in May. That is in Dallas. Get on isogenicsevents.com and look at that. David Woods is brilliant. If you're not going to be at Philly here at the end of this month, then I would look at that UIA. You guys, I would not wait for celebration. I would not, knowing the power of events, like I wouldn't, or, you know, again, are you educating your team on that? You can Zoom in, watch select at ICU Philly. So you can do that on the Zoom. You can get in your back office and see that. But, you know, don't forget about our amazing peach mango. That is my favorite shake that we have. What is the date of UIA? May 18th, and is in Dallas. UIA is. And again, Isogenics events have all of those. I am going to link right now. I meant to do this and then I got so excited about Bob Proctor's. Morgan, will you put the link in the chat of the April worksheet? Will you slap that in there? The April worksheet. So there is an April worksheet, your action sheet about your 30-day sprint goal. All right, there it is. It's in the chat. And so if your 30-day sprint goal, big action, you know, if you went through those 1 through 10, like on what is it that you're desiring, where am I and where do I want to be? If there is a big bridge in that, if there is a big gap, then we're going to, you know, start closing the gap. And so it really does have an amazing, just your 30-day sprint action sheets that you can look at. We're also going into, Belgium. So we're opening up in Belgium. So you have a international business. So that's exciting that we're opening up in Belgium when you're doing your connecting. So more growth and expansion of a multi-billion-dollar company that supports your efforts to be global and getting this health revolution out to people. And there's been a big thing, and I was watching some videos on Kathy Kuver's page. Everybody deserves to follow Kathy Kuver, little pit bull in networking and connecting. And she's just done some great tips on connecting and referrals, how she, goes out and just looks for people with energy. You know, you're the CEO of your company. You know, you're not looking for somebody that needs this, right? You're looking for somebody that's just got the spark that you want to work with, just that energy out there. They're vivacious of connecting with. And so, you know, thousands of people are in my organization because I've asked for referrals. And so I want to ask you, you know, are you asking for referrals as well? That's something Amanda, she did a great post on that. Amanda came in with Gerald and he's like giving referrals and all that. Guys, like, are you at, like, who do you know? Who can you connect me with? Your people that are open to, you know, sharing the business, but maybe they are sharing the products a little bit, but they're not putting in much effort. Who do you know? Who do you know that I can contact? Would you give me anybody that I could reach out to and contact? Like, even if they're not doing it, like you can reach out, ask people, who do you know? And if it's somebody that you personally know, love, and trust and has a great energetic personality or is good, chances are they probably know other people, right? And then they know people and they, you know what, it's just not for me right now. Give somebody. So just don't pass that up. So we are opening in those 2 countries. Very exciting. Yes, Spain too. So very, very exciting to be going into Spain too. So you guys, global. It is just the little tip. Isogenics is just getting started. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And so when you're looking at this and you're thinking about your list or thinking about people who have traveled or that know, like, you know, I love asking people that have been in other areas if they would be open to letting me know how they think that this company would do in that market space. I've never been in there. I don't know anything about that country, like Europe. Will you do me a favor and watch this and let me know like what you think, you know, that they would think about this in that marketplace? Gets people in front of the presentation, get people in front of the information. That's just what we're trying to do, is get people in front of the information. So awesome shares. Congrats to all. I mean, I can celebrate every single person. If you're on here and you're showing up and you're taking action and you're working on yourself, you're working on your business goals, only you know where you are and where you want to go and what's important for you. Right. And Katie, I loved what you shared last week. You totally rocked it. I think that was last week. Of just about like with where Katie was, she was tapping in. She wanted parenting books was something for her, right? It wasn't like that. That was where she wanted to be focusing on with some stuff. So it's like, what area are you plugging in to expand yourself, to grow yourself? Only you know that, what's going to make you feel good. So business goal, guys, the tips of our fingertips, the world, literally a business, $1 million in your back pocket. It doesn't get better than this. It doesn't. But how can it get better than this? I love Rhonda. She's like, keep asking, how can it get better than this? Because it just keeps getting better. Isogenics keeps making it better. So rock on. Everybody have a great night. Any other shout outs as we're closing down? All right. I will see you guys next week.
Peace.